Welcome to the Austin Method, where we help you develop the skills of square dancing. This segment is called Behind the Scenes. This is where we share things with you other than the skills we're already sharing in the Austin Method. So here's the deal. Square dancing is great entertainment. It's a great activity. It's lots of fun. It's challenging. As entertainment, it takes your mind off whatever your problems are. Even that kid that your little Tommy bit at daycare today. All of it forgotten. I actually think of it as a type of meditation because you have to control your mind. You have to control your thoughts as you go from call to call to call. And it requires concentration. But it's also a heck of a lot of fun meeting that challenge, dancing with other people, getting to see other people. It is just a really, really great entertainment. Gives you somewhere to go on Thursday nights and on the weekends, and even a place to plan trips around. There are square dancing trips to Europe, Japan, Sweden. There are trips all over the place, square dance cruises. It's just a great form of entertainment. And we get to dance without too much pressure. We don't have to am I looking cool, or have I been doing this for 28 minutes and everybody's really tired of me? Do I have to, maintain my frame, and how do I lead, and how do I follow, and how do I come up with choreography? Don't need any of that. Somebody's telling you what to do. They've worked out the choreography. But you already know that. We've covered that. It's just a heck of a good time. And of course, you get to meet and interact with other people, which after a couple of years of COVID here, that's become quite a commodity and very valuable to get out and actually see people and touch people and shake people's hands and meet them and greet them, and just to have that human connection again. So something that great, that fantastic, should be easy to share, right? And should be growing like gangbusters. So how do we share? And who do we share with? Well, let me give you some of the answers. First of all, when you try to share, you're going to hear some of the same old things. You're going to hear people say, well, I don't like twangy country music. And they'll be joking and messing around with you, but they're serious. They think all square dancing is twangy country music. Well, guess what? The truth is, we do all kinds of music. We do all eras of music. We do old country music. We do new country music. We do rock. We do old rock. We do progressive rock. It's all, in fact, made a list of some of the people you'd probably be surprised we cover in square dancing. Charlie Puth, Pink, Anna Kendrick, Sabrina Carpenter, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Pentatonix, Santana, Disturbed. These are just some of the artists that get covered in square dance calling. Another comment, reputation, argument people have against square dancing is, oh, I did that in the 5th grade. They think they've done it, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, they're done. So, of course, what is the answer to that? Well, by now you've figured out that it is nothing like what you did in the 5th grade, assuming you did it in the 5th grade. It's the difference between checkers and chess. It's the difference between being a 5th grade child and being an adult. Now, that's not to say kids can't do square dancing. They certainly can, and they can actually learn it faster than we can. But they do need to be mature. They have to be able to listen. They have to pay attention. They have to be polite. Timmy probably isn't ready if he bit somebody in daycare today. So it's totally different. And you've probably, since we're this far into it, you've begun to see that it is not easy. It is not as simple as what we did in the 5th grade. So another thing that people sometimes think about square dancing, and you'll have to address when you go to tell people that you're a square dancer, and sometimes that can be a little difficult. It's like, no, I'll just keep it on the down low. But one of the things they think is that we're still wearing bolo ties. Now, granted, I am wearing a Western shirt and my Stevie Ray Vaughan hat. But that's my choice. It's I'm representing. But I'm not wearing a bolo tie. And the other thing is the costume, as it were, really is no longer required. There are a few clubs that get a little nuts and they're like, oh, well, on a Friday night dance, we want everybody to wear a dress and a tie. And it's like, yeah, well, maybe not then. And they're quickly learning that that's not necessarily what people want to do. But I've talked about the dresses before, and there is an actual function to the petticoats. But it's your choice. And it looks great when there's a whole floor of twirling dresses and petticoats, and it's fun. But it's also an expense, and some people aren't comfortable with it. So we no longer require it at all. Mostly. All right, next part's going to get me in trouble, but it is our reputation, and it is not undeserved. And that is, square dancing is full of rednecks, social conservatives, dare I say, white Christian conservatives, and I don't have an argument against that. The truth is, square dancing for a long time has not been an activity entertainment. It has been clubs that do square dancing. So by now you've probably figured out I'm not a big fan of clubs. I think clubs have led us to a number of problems and issues. I think of square dancing as entertainment, as an activity, like I'd go to a movie. I don't have to set up the seats. I don't have to make the popcorn. I don't have to pour the drinks. I don't have to bring anything. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to run for an officer at the theater. To me, that's what square dancing is. It's entertainment. That's what it should be. It's still heavily influenced by the social clubs, and there are a lot of people that are not going to be happy with me that I'm trying to de-emphasize clubs. That being said, that's why I'm talking to you about how to invite people into square dancing. I didn't recognize it myself, but you've heard things like, invite your friends you think will fit in. So the last time I heard that, we had just moved back to town and we didn't have any friends outside of square dancing. We had made a lot of friends real quick in square dancing, but we didn't have any friends outside of square dancing. So instead of thinking, who could I invite? I was thinking, why did he add that last part? Invite your friends you think will fit in. Well, it goes back to the socially conservative club structure that has supported square dancing for a long time. And a lot of people have participated in it. They're not all social conservatives. They're not all rednecks. They're not all cowboys. But they're there. What we're trying to do, what we're doing with the Austin method is we're democratizing the learning process. So one of the gatekeepers for square dancing has been lessons. We offered them once a year. If you didn't get an invitation those couple of weeks just before they started, you missed out. It's pretty easy to keep the gate closed if you only open it once a year. But we are presenting to you a method to not only learn square dancing in the comfort of your own home without group lessons, but to do it at any time and with anybody. So if you have friends you want to invite to square dancing, you just do it. You push the table out of the way, you push the chairs to the other side, you put on the Austin method, and you start doing square dancing. As a matter of fact, we have a section called Two Couple Fun Night. So if you remember Fun Night, if you happen to come to a fun night at a club, but Fun Night is where you introduce non-dancers to dancing. We teach them a dozen or so calls and with their friends, and they have a good time, and it's not teaching them the full definitions. It's not getting very deep into it. It's a very surface level. It's kind of like what you did in the 5th grade. But it introduces them to square dancing. It introduces them to the process of learning to square dance, and it introduces them to other square dancers. Now, in the Two Couple Fun Night, obviously be just you and your friends. So who should you invite? Well, not just people you think would fit in socially to the existing demographics. Okay? Invite anybody. And in fact, don't pick people because you think they'll do good at square dancing, because you think they'll fit in, because you don't pick them for any reason. Anybody that you would invite over to your house to play games, for a barbecue, for fun, to visit with, to watch a movie, invite them to try square dancing. Period. That's it. And here's why I say don't pick them. A lot of people are like, oh, so-and-so will be really good at square dancing because they're outgoing, because they do this, because they do that, they're very graceful, da-da-da-da. And you get them in, and those people don't necessarily do well. They're used to things being easy. They're used to being the center of attention, whatever it is. They don't work very hard at it, and pretty soon they find that they're behind, and then they find that they're not enjoying it because they're not getting it. It's group lessons. The group lessons are moving on. What's actually turned out to be more true is that the people you don't think are going to make it on that first night are the ones that do well, because they knuckle down and they have to work at it, and they realize that square dancing is work and effort to develop these skills. Once they do that, they fly past the people where it looked like they were going to do well. They didn't. So don't pick them. Just invite nice people, friends, relatives, anybody that you think deserves to have fun. And never, 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 never tell them it's easy. Square dancing is not an easy skill to develop. It takes work. It takes effort. And telling them it's easy is disingenuous. It sets their expectations wrong. And it minimizes what you've done, what you're doing. It minimizes what the people that have come before you have done. We've been telling people it's easy for a very long time, and physically it is easy if you can walk, if you can shake hands, pull by, swing through. You can pretty much do square dancing physically. Attaining the skills requires work and effort. So don't tell them it's easy. Tell them it's challenging, because it is. And a lot of people will step up to the challenge. They're looking for a challenge. They want something that isn't going to wear out really quick. So give it a try. Again, invite anybody you think deserves to have a good time, because it is a great form of entertainment. Make sure to like and comment before you go. This is the way YouTube tells other people that you found this material engaging one way or the other. Comments are always appreciated. Likes and shares, of course, are much appreciated. And remember, however well-informed and carefully considered they may be, the opinions expressed here are solely my opinions and don't necessarily reflect the opinions of others involved in this production. Thank you for visiting the Austin Method. We hope to see you on the dance floor soon.